And to my surprise, Lee is not in his chair to kick this thing off. Welcome to Washington Winning with Parlay Pete and AC Lee. We're going to wait for him to get set up because this guy did not do the pre-production the way that he should have.
No. Instagram was taking too long, and I was trying to get it to go live, and it was just taking forever.
There it is, guys. There you have it.
Everything.
Lee, how are we doing today?
Not too bad, man. How you doing?
Oh, just trying to find the Lord.
Well, hopefully he's in Flowery Branch.
Well, I think that's where he's needed the most.
I really hope he's in Stillwater.
Well, he's omnipotent, right? So because he's omnipotent, he can kind of be in both places at the same time.
I just know my God don't play about me.
There's a word.
But how you doing, man?
We're doing good. Hump day, middle of the week. Feels like we're on the back, and we're really on the back nine of the week. So good in that regard, since we're getting closer and closer. Can't wait to have my daughter this weekend, and can't wait to see what we see on Sunday.
I mean, are we ready to go there now?
I don't see why not. They're always first, right? Except for in the standings. That's the only place we're not first.
We are all here to do what we do.
Hey, ho, shut the fuck up.
How you want to start this? I mean, we were Sacklanta. Now we searching for answers.
Yeah, we've decided to give this 30 minutes worth of time because it's that important. Plus, that's how much we lost by. So, I mean, we could just start off by saying we overreacted last week, clearly, for anyone that saw the clips that tuned in live. The defense wasn't necessarily the biggest problem. I know it looks bad. Like, if you're a box score checker, you would say, wow, the defense must have played like shit. They gave up 30 points. And then the offense just didn't do anything to combat it.
Or you say, see my message from 3 months ago. Carolina has an improved offense.
Yeah, depending on who you are and where you stand in all this. That's definitely something that you could do too. In my case, I just backtracked from a week ago and look at that and I say to myself, how can we do a complete 180? Right? Like, we went from national TV against a team that is 2-1 now, basically dominating them on both sides of the ball, to, not being able to pass the 30-yard line, which is poetic in itself that we never passed the 30-yard, our Carolina's 30 in that entire game. And then we get 30-pieced. It's a lot of different places that you can go, but I think that we both know where we want to start with this first. And let's be honest, it's actually Rich McKay. we could get into everybody else next, because look, it's a domino effect. It starts up top though. It really starts with Rich McKay. Yeah. And then it will trickle down to the next coach, and then we'll get to the other coach. So let's just start with Rich. Rich has been milking this thing for 21 years. 21 years. Rich McKay has came in to Flowery Branch, and he said that he's going to rule with an iron fist. When he rules with an iron fist, he makes the rules. He comes in, he says to himself, Arthur, it's my show now. I've got one of these. He's showing off his Super Bowl ring. I've got one of these. Goes on, says, all right, we're going to hire this guy. We're going to hire that guy. Doesn't work. All right, scratch that. Now we're going to hire this guy. We're going to hire that guy. Doesn't work. We're going to hire this guy and that guy. Doesn't work. We're going to draft this guy. I'm going to be picking the groceries. You know what, Arthur? I'm starting to get a little bit of heat over here. Let's just act like I'm doing the business stuff. But in reality, I am the puppet master here. So he says, this go round last year, let's just say 18 months ago. 18 months ago, he said, all right, we got to get a new coach. A proven one came in with the Super Bowl ring, one of those things that he had when he showed it off to Arthur when he got the job. And he didn't want him here, right? Because he was intimidated by the fact that this man's got more rings. I've seen men get intimidated like that before when they see somebody else has got something. And I'm going to leave that at that. Rich McKay is the same way. He's a 60-something-year-old white guy that's been in this business for forever. He's a lifer. He was intimidated by another man because he had more rings. So he decided, you know what? Let's do something that's going to really get the fan base energized. Not the true fans, just the casuals, the Atlantans. Let's hire a black coach. We've never had a black head coach. We had an interim one. We had an interim one before that one, but we've never had one. Let's hire Raheem Morris. He deserves a shot. He's been a head coach in this league. He's familiar with our business model. He knows what it is. Even though we want to get as far away from that Super Bowl appearance as possible, let's bring somebody that was on the roster back, and he not be an offensive guy or anything. Even though we know what we plan to do at quarterback, let's bring him in. I'm sure he'd be a good fit. He's got one of these now too, just as a D coordinator.
Got two.
Yeah, you're right, because he's on the Tampa. Right, because and that's how I brought that up, obviously, because they know each other. And this gets back to the community conversation that we had earlier, which we will hopefully tackle that, just touch it a little at the end. Pause. But so he hires Ra. Then Ra says, all right, I got my squad now. Now I can do what I want to do. Hires Jimmy Lake, worst defense in the NFL. Brings in Zach Robinson. See a little bit of promise, but we had question marks at the start of the year there. Week 1 against the Steelers, we're like, man, is Kirk Cousins not healthy? Why is he not under center? Like, what's going on? Why is he operating out of the pistol? Isn't his strongest attribute the play action pass, and we've got 2 great running backs? What are we doing? Does that. Kirk Cousins starts to pick it up a little bit later. We win. We play well. Then we fall off a cliff after he gets hurt. Now you bring in your new toy. We see promise out of him. We're like, oh, man, we're throwing it down the field. Everything is great. Optimism coming into this season. We won one more game than we did the year prior. We'll go 8-9. Expectation coming in this year. We'll get them again. Comes out somewhat flat a little bit, too, in that first game for us where Michael Penix balled out, but the play calling was still predictable.
Terrible.
Then week 2 comes. We have no expectation of the team. And then the defense comes out and dominates. The offense runs the ball well. Penix doesn't have to throw, so we don't really think much of it. Then you get to week 3, and you go against a team that you absolutely should blow doors on. Bryce Young is 3-1 against the Falcons and like 4-20 against the rest of the NFL. I think that should be alarming for people, not just the fans, but anyone in that building should think to themselves, man, this guy is fucking us hard every time we play him, and we don't have an answer for him, but everybody else in the league does. What's wrong in this building? Then you ask the offensive coordinator, Zach Robinson, we're talking about you. You ask the offensive coordinator, hey, man, what happened on Sunday? Why didn't the offense move the ball? Why is Michael Penix inaccurate? Why are we not throwing the ball down the field? Why are we always running out of the pistol?
Can I talk to Zach just real quick?
Please.
I want you to have damn near this entire segment because I really only want to talk to Zach. Rich knows how I feel. Arthur knows that I know he's in an impossible position with Rich right now because Rich hasn't gotten what he's wanted, and Arthur wants to remain who he is to this world. That's a joke, guys. Ra, Brick. Hey, you keep it up, Brick. You're doing a hell of a job. Terry, you know what, Terry? You figured out fielding a roster. And if you've done nothing for the Falcons, you got us out of cap hell, and you got us good players on both sides of the football. Between bringing in Jesse Bates, drafting, who's the corner that we got that's looking pretty good?
Billy Bowman.
Drafting Billy Bowman. paying AJ Terrell, and you know what? I missed AJ Terrell Sunday. I saw where I missed AJ Terrell. Going all in on the defensive ends this year. The guy we drafted last year who didn't play. Like, our defense looks great. I know we gave up the team gave up 30 points, but you had to watch the game, not pull a whole seat, and you'd understand how those points came. And if you've ever played defense in a game where your offense isn't scoring and they're going for it on fourth down early in the game and not the best field position, you give up easy touchdowns and field goals. So that's how the points get scored. If we played a real field position game, it wouldn't have gone that way. Neither here nor there.
And
but
when
Zach
you
Robinson,
kick field goals and you miss them, you set them up damn near in the middle of the field because your kicker can't make kicks either. So
right. But Parker Romo is barely a Falcon, and he's probably out the door soon. So I'm not even going to address him. He didn't know his teammate's name. I hardly know his name. Okay, like everybody should know Leonard Floyd. Come on now. Anyways, but Zach Robinson, like my co-host here said last year, that Pittsburgh game just didn't make sense. The offense kind of caught fire, but throughout the entire season, where's Tyler Algier? This guy was good before we even drafted Bijan, and I see what they're doing up there in Detroit, and I just kind of had a thought the Falcons may do something a little similar to Detroit with their running game. But then I look at all the weapons and how we can throw the ball to Darnell Mooney, who had almost 1,000 yards last year. Drake London, who had a breakout season last year. Kyle Pitts, who had 1,000 yards as a rookie. Ray McLeod, who can make plays. Bijan, who can catch the ball out of the backfield. You know, I'm thinking just maybe we're going to spread it out, be confusing, throw the hell out of the football, and then follow that up with a great running game. But when I watch Zach Robinson through 3 weeks this year, 3 sober weeks at that, watching what he's put out onto that field, there's no offensive rhythm. Week 1, we could not run the ball. We kept running it into the line and throwing it on third down. Week 2, we run the piss out the ball. We drop it down underneath to Bijan. 3rd and 7, we're going to Drake London. We didn't make the plays we wanted to make. Yeah, and Kyle Pitts. We've been feeding Kyle Pitts this year too. Right? We start off game 3 throwing the ball. We just ran the ball for over 200 yards last week through a good defensive fucking nose, and now we're coming out throwing the ball? Zach, what are you doing? I don't even want to get into all the pistol stuff because that is purely Dan Orlovsky, but even with the numbers, we're never under center. When we're in pistol, we run. When we're in gun, we pass. Holy shit, Zach Robinson. Why are you making yourself so predictable? 1, you don't have a consistent identity. 2, your formations tip off what you're doing. And if I believe Dan Orlovsky, lining your running back up in the pistol puts him deeper than he would be under center. It puts the ball, it takes longer to start the play because the ball has to be snapped in the air to the quarterback as opposed to being handed directly to him. And I've watched Bijan Robinson his entire career, and he's always getting hit in the backfield. Always. He breaks the tackle more times than not and gets damn near positive yards every time, but he's always having to shake somebody or break a tackle in the backfield. Michael Penix is a deep ball thrower.
You Kung Fu Kenny.
When he came in last year, he threw the ball deep. Zach Robinson, you called those plays. Where is that part of the playbook? Why are we not using Michael Penix to be who Michael Penix is supposed to be? He has a cannon, and he gets it out quickly. Why are we not running the piss out of the football with our two-headed monster? Why do we not have both of them in the backfield at the same time in gun? Why do we not split Bijan out into the slot sometimes and have Tyler Algier in the backfield so the defense doesn't know what we're going to do? We could put Bijan in motion, jet pass. Fake jet, handoff to Algier. There's so many things that we could do to throw defenses off. And I don't see it. I don't see the creativity. And if we can't utilize these weapons while we have the defense, because the weapons are proven, the quarterback has shown the ability. Yes, he had his worst game ever. It's okay. He's still a rookie. But he's shown the ability to throw the ball. Every blade on the field is open to Michael Penix's arm. Give him protection. Kyle Shanahan has Mac Jones looking like a Pro Bowler again. And what is he doing? Running the piss out of the football and play action. I haven't watched the 49ers game this year. But you know what? Kyle Shanahan has an identity. Have we seen a wide receiver just slap wide open all year? Just, a scheme open play where it's like, oh, my God, how did he get that open?
No.
There's nothing to write home about. The only thing that we need to be writing home about is Zach Robinson going to Oklahoma State where he belongs. Mike Gundy, gone. Camden, beginning of the season. Zach Robinson, you got your tryout this week. You got a bye next week. Your ass can be in Stillwater when we're on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, you can begin the recruiting process. Look, we've seen this before. We had a head coach that left it wasn't the middle of the season or the beginning of the season rather, but yeah, so it's not impossible. You're not even the head guy here anyways. Clearly everybody wants to get you out of town. You should want to get out of town because Lee, my nephew with his Fisher Price lawnmower has more common sense and direction on that grass out there than he does. And us bringing him down from the top to come down on the field, I hope it changes something, but it's like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, ooh, again, firing the wide receiver coach and Ike Hilliard. This sounds to me like you're reshuffling the decks on the Titanic. You're reshuffling the chairs, man, because something's clearly wrong. How are we using the wide receiver coach as a scapegoat? Now, I get it. Maybe he didn't have the guys ready, like the packages, because I didn't Brian Finneran said this on 680 The Fan, was that basically typically the position coach has them ready for whatever the packages are to go out on the field and for substitutions. That is one of their jobs. But that don't have nothing to do with why we lost 30-0. It doesn't. That doesn't have anything to do with it.
What's the question I always ask you that Mike Lombardi asks? Who's coaches? So if your position coaches aren't doing their job, I think the offensive coordinator is supposed to coordinate the offense. So that means he has to make sure that all the different pieces are on the same page.
He can't do that up. He can't do that up in the booth. He's got to keep calling down on the phone. You know what I mean? Even though we've got basically a first-year quarterback in there, he's just like, no, I think I'll rather sit in the AC.
I mean, Cliff's on the field, right?
Cliff is on the field. Cliff's active on the field. Hell, Cliff's over there. He's talking to DQ.
It's just disgusting. It's gross. I mean, game 1, we couldn't get into the end zone. Game 2, we couldn't get into the end zone.
We have one passing touchdown all year, and it was the first drive of the season. We have one pass play from under center all season. I want you to really think about that. That means that I don't know what B-Flow was on. Honestly, maybe it was just our day, and those guys, I know they were a little banged up on defense too, but I don't know what the hell happened with that anomaly of a game. But I'll tell you what, Dave Canales, he looked at it. He said he started licking his chops. He's like, oh boy, him and what's the D coordinator or Jerry or whatever his name is for the Panthers? Those boys were licking their chops. They're like, we're gonna get us one on Sunday, boys.
Hey, but even think about this. B-Flow only gave up 1 touchdown. He gave up 5 field goals. Yeah. He didn't do it. I mean, JJ, he ended the game injured, but that's an offense problem.
Yeah.
Because if you hold to 5 field goals and that last touchdown we scored was a garbage time touchdown, yeah, we were driving, but they were also trying to save clock and get the ball back. B-Flow didn't have a bad day.
I mean, we ran the ball on them, though.
I mean, we ran the.
They couldn't even make us pass.
They couldn't, but we couldn't do anything in the red zone either.
I get it. In a space like that, you would think that the Vikings would have been able to score 24 points at home.
Exactly.
That would be the thought.
Or at least 20 points, and that changes how we call the game.
Right.
Changes how they play defense.
Right.
You know, like, I mean, B-Flow's probably taking chances that he wouldn't normally take because, like, dog, we can't get points.
You know, Dave Canales was probably sitting over there like, man, what the hell are they doing on that side? He's like, they're not giving us this game. I mean, a guy that's not used to winning, when he starts seeing things are going his way, he's like, because he didn't change anything. I promise you. The Panthers didn't change anything. That's why they only had 220 yards. They didn't change anything about what they did. They came into the game to play Carolina Panthers football. And for whatever reason, that prevailed. And it prevailed in a big way. Biggest win in 10 years. It took them a decade to win a game like that. They haven't won a game like that in a decade. I want you to really think about that. What were they doing a decade ago, Lee?
Cam Newton.
2015, right?
Yeah, dab on them.
Oh,
folks.
Super Bowl. Okay, 15 and one team. So their greatest team ever was the last time they were able to put together a performance like that. And we outgained them by almost 100 yards. We got more first downs than them, more yards per play than them. But somehow we never passed the 30. Somehow we're calling timeouts because we can't get the play in. And then on the very next play, we still can't get the fucking play in. You can't make this shit up. This is what we mean by, and excuse the last show then, 2 weeks ago after week one, why we said same old same. It's the same old thing. Nothing changed. Nothing has changed. And hopefully I eat these words. I hope that I come back next week and I say, you know what? We just got a bad case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And if that's the case, we'll be 8-9 again. One way or another. That's about what that lands on. We'll be 8-9. Since we started the season off with a loss, we'll be 8-9 if that's how we're going to play games. So it's frustrating. It's hard to believe that they're not tired of saying fuck you to the fans. Like, you know what I mean? Like, didn't it just get old? Don't they get tired of it? They're lucky that we're not New York City, where people are calling for people saying, like, if we had it set up like a city like New York, everybody would be calling for Zach Robinson's head at the game. It doesn't matter if we win or lose.
I mean, you saw how they called for Russell's head mid-game, and they got it.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, the only time that we ever banded together as a fan base that I can remember in recent memory was Kyle Shanahan's first year, and everybody saying, you know, basically free Roddy. And then Kyle Shanahan, he came out, he gave us what we wanted. He threw the ball to the motherfucker 3 straight times to start that game. He didn't care if we were going to get it first. We could burn a possession. It's basically what Kyle was saying. He's like, but I'm going to make sure he's going to get those targets, you know? Because he's a smug son of a bitch, and he can do that, though. He's got the gravitas to do it, Lee. That's why he's 3-0 with the backup quarterback. And his best tight end hurt, and his best receiving option hurt. And then his running back coming in with tendonitis to start the year. That's why he can be 3-0 with Mac Jones. And we can't. We can't do it with Michael Penix, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Darnell Mooney. New and improved defense. But, like, our defense ranks second in the NFL, and we're 1-2. See, it'd be one thing if we were the Ravens, right? Where they can't stop a parked car, right?
No, they're averaging 30 a game in 1-2.
Yeah. And people can look at that and say to themselves, oh, man, they're 1-2, just like the Ravens. We got hope. You know what I mean? Let's see it. Because it's looking like there's going to be no Terry McLaurin. He's on my fantasy team, and I know this because they dropped him down to 0 as his projection. So it sounds like he's not playing. Jaden Daniels was limited today. If Marcus Mariota and Dan Quinn come into Mercedes-Benz Stadium and win this game, if I don't see a firing at the bye week, you just at that point you almost want to boycott the games. You want to sell your tickets, man, and like just not go. You'll still watch, right? But it's just like until they make some changes, it's like being in a rut with your girl or anyone, right? You're sleeping on the couch or something. It's just like until I see some changes, I don't want to sleep in the bed with you. You know?
Well, see, I'm not gonna sleep on the couch. I'm gonna sleep in the guest room. Or really, I'm gonna sleep in the bed. And if you want to sleep here or not, that's your call. I'm sleeping in my bed.
Well,
See what
but
that
you
got
get
to
my point. My point is, you know, until I see some changes, I can't continue to put up with this. You know, Sunday is the end of the weekend and basically the start of the week. How you gonna fuck up the end of my week and fuck up the start of my week? Because if I don't hit a big parlay, I'm pissed.
Don't lose in fantasy that week.
Not right, and don't fucking double decker, don't Glorilla double decker that shit. Big Buford me. Don't want it, man. Don't want it. And if Marcus Mariota and Dan Quinn come in here and they get their revenge, all hell should break loose in that front office. And it's not an overreaction. This is not an overreaction. There is no way you got this guy with this rocket arm. After week 2, Raheem came out and said that Bijan Robinson is the best football player in the NFL. How the fuck is he the best football player in the NFL and he touched the ball 13 times on Sunday? Like, how does that happen? How does the best player in the league touch the ball 13 times?
Zach Robinson
at running back.
Zach Robinson on the headset. Can't get the play in.
Well, then it sounds like Zach Robinson needs to book it to Stillwater. Look, I'm sure the Falcons Arthur got connections with Delta. They got direct flights. He can send them out first class. He don't have to take the Greyhound. We can send him out first class.
Man, we can send him on Arthur's PJ. Fuck it. Just get him out of here.
Man, fuck it. Arthur should reach out to OK State's guys and tell them, invite them to be the guests at the game this week. Yeah. Let them sit in the suite and say, hey, man, you see that boy down there? That's all y'all. He's one of y'all anyways. That's all y'all.
Hey, I'll cover his rent for the rest of the year. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, it's just pathetic, man. I think that you get so exhausted, you get so tired of looking up, and it's the same thing week in and week out. Like, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Like, you feel like you're going crazy because it's just like, it's almost like you're okay with your girl just cheating on you. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, she'll fuck you every other day, but then she's going to fuck somebody else. It's just like, you're all right with it. You're okay with it. There's no consistency here. You just sit there, you just take it. You take it. Yeah, I'm not a cuck, so I'm not going to take it.
No. I've got nothing else to add, man. You just want to just get to the recap?
Yeah, let's get into it. Let me pull up some of these scores from last week. But yeah, do better, Falcons. Do better. Got me looking stupid on. I can't even bet. I can't even put you guys in the picks anymore. Like on these. Think about. Is there an easier game this year? Maybe the New Orleans game at home should be easier. But is there really an easier game this year than that game? Like, I don't understand.
I mean, maybe Carolina at home.
Nah, but they got us there last year. This is normally, you got to get off to the right start here, right? Yeah. You're 0-2 in the division. You're fucked. You're fucked early. Like, we're getting fucked early. You got the hardest part of your schedule, playoff team in the Commanders. Buffalo Bills, maybe the best team in the NFL coming off the bye. Then you got to travel to San Francisco on a Sunday night so Kyle can get his ass too. Because he don't forget about the Falcons either. He wants to get his ass too. And on national TV? Yeah. Yeah. That sounds about right. But look, man, let's just move back, rewind it back to week 3 and just go over some of these games that were of interest. Obviously, the Rams-Eagles being the premier game of the week. Well, really the Monday night game was supposed to be. But obviously, in terms of endings, Rams-Eagles was by far the best game of this week.
Let's give a shout out to Jordan Davis. And I'm going to shout him out by saying, hey, shout out to the dog, but man, fuck you, dude. You got the block, great play, man. You recovered the block, great play. But did you have to run it back? The game was over. I know you're probably never going to get a chance to get a touchdown, especially a long touchdown like that. And if I were you, I would have done the same thing. But what about the guys who had the Rams plus 3.5? What about us? We think we're going to win straight up? Block. Well, the bet still hit.
This is covered.
Oh,
No,
no,
you
he took it back.
He said, no, you didn't. He said he should have cashed out, nigga. That's really what he said. It's terrible, though, because, again, like you said, those type of plays, they don't happen very often, certainly for somebody of his stature. But I can only imagine what the sports books look like on that play, because you go from being a Rams fan or a Rams money line bettor, and you're like, I've got a chance, right? But all the 3.5 guys are like, well, the only way that we can lose it is if they come out block it and run it back. That was going through somebody's head, I promise you. And then they're like, son of a bitch. As soon as they saw it, they knew. As soon as he picked up that ball, they were like, they don't have anyone fast enough to come back there and hit him.
No. Because he runs like a 4.6, 4.7.
Yeah.
So he's fast.
He's a bowling ball.
Yeah. And at that size, nah, bro, you're not catching him.
Yeah, he's a bowling ball. Another game that came down to the wire in that 1:00 space, because obviously it was nothing to watch with the Falcons. I know I stopped as soon as Kirk Cousins got it, I stopped watching. But Bucks Jets kind of needed the Jets to hook us up and help us out there, but they couldn't fucking do that either. Yeah, you got Aaron Glenn on the sidelines looking like Ric Flair damn near or something. Just hitting something. It synced up really well with September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Somebody put like a little compilation together. It set up really well. But Bucks come back. Baker does what Baker does, and Baker's got 3 straight walk-off wins, essentially.
Yeah.
And we could have had this guy in the building before Kirk Cousins signed, before Michael Penix drafted. But no,
Rich.
We want Desmond Ridder, who nobody wants. Desmond Ridder.
Guys, here's what we're doing. We're going to run
that guy.
Yeah. He got a win on Sunday, though.
We got to get some audio of Rich.
I'm sure it won't be hard to find.
I think Rich should be on the show with us sometimes.
Rich wouldn't want to be on the show because Rich wouldn't want to answer tough questions. That's why Rich is not the mouthpiece. He's just the puppet master.
Well, Rich, he doesn't even work in football. He runs the entire operation for Arthur Blank.
When he gets mail on his desk, do you think that once the assistant gives it to him, he says, send it down to Terry's office?
No, he opens Terry's mail. Hey, Terry, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. Either you just bring me all your mail or I just, I drop it off when I'm done.
Well, yeah, essentially it's just like, well, Terry, let me tell you something. He said, I've been in this building for a long time. Longer than anyone else that you see around here. It ain't going to be me. It's going to be you.
Because, see, I got something on my phone. I won't even show it to you.
Look, fuck Rich McKay, man. Fuck him. A lot of exciting ends, though, for the most part this week. Obviously, Browns with the big upset over the Packers. Kind of upset at myself. That was one of the ones I did. I had liked the Browns at +7 the entire time. A lot of offensive line hurt there in Green Bay, but big win for the Browns and big win for Quinshawn Judkins fantasy owners as well. Just to throw that out there. But Bears kind of beat up on the Cowboys. Big injury there with CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, Cowboys secondary's toast.
Chiefs finally win a football game. Hey, look, we got the same record as them.
Yeah, but they got Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. And Andy
Reid.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
And a competent front office.
I'd take their offensive coordinator over Zach Robinson.
Yeah, at this point, I don't see why not. And of course, you culminate the week on Monday night, Lions-Ravens, where we got to see a masterclass of how you use play action pass and 2 running backs just going down your throat the entire game.
Yeah.
I hope Zach Robinson was taking notes. I know that I saw a tweet that said that Zach watched the game twice on Sunday and Monday, so that means he wasn't getting ready for the Commanders. But and that's a problem too. But nonetheless, I was hoping maybe he would see a little bit of the Lions game, and he's like, "Oh, that's how you do it." The Drake and Lil Yachty meme is like, that would be your hope. That would be your hope. But I tell you what, we'll get to see you on Sunday. There's no doubt about that. But big win for the Lions, obviously. For anyone that didn't think that they were going to be for real, missing both coordinators from last year. Still the real deal. A couple O-linemen gone. Obviously, the center had retired, and then one of the other O-linemen, he was hurt for that game. And they still had no problem.
Yep, none.
Yeah.
Any other games that we care about? I mean, the Saints got dog walks.
Well, and I guess it's always good. That's one of the positive things that happens on a Sunday. The Saints did get dog walked, but did that really come as a surprise to any of us?
I mean, in the fashion it did, yeah. I mean, the game was over at halftime. This is the NFL. We don't expect that.
It is the NFL, but you don't expect Spencer Rattler to be your quarterback either.
I mean, he's one of Link's guys. You play for Link, you play in the pros.
And he's the only one that somehow, some way, either didn't get drafted first or win a Heisman. I think that's telling. All the other guys either got drafted first or won a Heisman or were a Heisman finalist. How about that?
Yeah.
They played in they played in the playoffs too. Spence didn't do that. Spence went to South Carolina to be a Beamer boy. That's what happened. And he fooled a couple people there into thinking that he was worth the 4th or 5th round pick.
Hey man, he did what he needed to do to be where he wanted to be. Can you knock him?
I don't know, Lee. I think we've got some bad football that's going to be coming to town when those guys that were that goal come in. That's what I think.
Yeah. Do we care about the Texans being 0-3?
Do we care? No, but is it shocking? Yeah, it kind of is. But you know what? Anyone that's watched their games, they can't run the ball. C.J. Stroud has regressed, and it almost makes you wonder. What was it? Bobby Slowick was the OC his rookie year, right? And then they fired him at some point last year.
Yep.
Kind of makes you wonder what happened. Is that what happened? Or what happened? Because it sucks. I hate it when quarterbacks have defensive head coaches, especially if you don't have you've got to have basically an offensive coordinator is going to become a head coach because that's how good of an OC they are. Which is what Dan Quinn perfected it by getting Kyle Shanahan, and then now he's got Cliff with the Commanders. He's perfected that process. He says, man, who's it that I fucking have nightmares about preparing for? I want them to work with me if they're not already a head coach.
I mean, it's the right thing to do.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Or you could just be like Rod and just get your buddy. It's like, yeah, man, he was with me out there. Because it's not about winning football games. It's about putting your boy on. Your boy that's never done it before.
I mean, you said that's what it's about, who you can put on.
It is about who you can put on, as long as they're qualified to be put on. Because I can't have you out here ruining my name because you don't know what you're doing just because you're my homeboy. This ain't Derrick Rose and me just getting you $300K a year, to basically do nothing at Adidas. There's a big difference between that or Jay-Z, giving Memphis Bleak a track, right? There's a big difference there. This is National Football League, man. He gets out there, that offense doesn't look good. It hasn't. It's going to cost him his job, too.
Hey, that may be a net positive.
Maybe. Killing two birds with one stone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what games are you looking forward to this week? I mean, obviously, you got what you're going to put in the picks.
Yeah, and I won't dive too much into that, but, the games that stand out to me, Eagles-Bucks, we got a big game there. Certainly,
Titans.
that could potentially dictate a bye, maybe even. Titans Texans is an elimination game, so that should be pretty interesting. The Titans are pretty much already eliminated. They were eliminated before the season started, but who knows? They might be able to get one against the Texans team that can't run. Colts Rams should be good because this will be. I don't want to say the first game where we get to see the Colts tested to see what that 3-0 if it's really fraudulent and if Danny Dimes is, the next resurrected quarterback. But that will be an interesting game because they're going to have to score points, and that is a defense that can get after him. So, and they got to go out to the West Coast. So that one should be interesting. And then obviously the big kahuna is Ravens Chiefs. Who's starting 1-3, right? Like, yeah. That's the stuff that's why the NFL is the greatest show on TV, because week to week you just don't know what's going to happen, and nobody had this on their bingo card that hey, either the Chiefs or the Ravens starts 1-3. I think everybody would have probably guessed the Chiefs though. Would have been maybe the team if it was one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a doubling game too, if you care about that. Little Packers Vikings. Little Aaron Rodgers.
Vikings Steelers.
Vikings Steelers. Aaron Rodgers can show them a little bit of what they're missing.
Well, the last time Aaron Rodgers was out across the pond, period, he got his coach fired apparently after that. And it was ironically against the Vikings as well. But obviously in this case, his coach is not going to get fired no matter what happens out there. But should be interesting. That game will be touched in the picks, and I'll dive into it a little bit later. But yeah, interesting game. Steelers are a home dog, so it's pretty interesting to me. We got some snoozers on Monday night, so nothing to see here, guys. And then of course you get Michael Parsons coming back to Dallas on Sunday night, but now with CD out, that game's lost a little gloss.
Micah's not getting his tribute. It's not appropriate.
Do you think that that's unfair to him? They didn't. I'm not trying to be funny. What did they win? You know what I mean? Like, and it wasn't like he was there 10 years either.
Grant Williams got a tribute video.
Yeah, but we know how the NBA is, Lee. If those guys get tributes, think about the guys that get into the Basketball Hall of Fame. They let anyone in, so it makes sense. That's the NBA for you.
Micah, he was a 3-time All-Pro in 4 years.
I tell you what,
I know Jerry's
Micah probably doesn't get his jersey retired, but he's not. So why would you give him a video tribute either?
Look, we're on the same page with that. I think we give far too many players tributes and stuff like that. I think it should only be for the best of the best who've been there for a while. And yes, Micah Parsons was a caliber of a player who deserves a tribute, but my dog, you didn't get through 2 contracts. If Grady comes back to Atlanta at some point in time before he hangs it up, he gets one. Yeah,
absolutely. He absolutely gets one because he was here for damn near a decade. So, like,
hey, did Vic get one when he came back?
No, he didn't. Now, obviously, that would have been controversial anyways within itself. But, Andy Reid had a funny way of doing things because this was when Donovan McNabb was still the starter the first time that they came back. So, obviously, he wasn't even the starter. But if you remember, he came in the game. He scored 2 touchdowns in that game. He threw one and he ran one. But Andy put him in literally for, I'm not going to say gadget plays, but like you kind of knew what he was going to do, and we just didn't stop it. But, it's funny because I was literally going to bring that up. Nah, Vic didn't get one, though. And that game was it wasn't a Monday. That wasn't even a nationally televised game.
No, yeah, it was a Sunday night. It was a Sunday night game.
The first time?
Yeah.
I think the first time it was 1:00. I know that we played them to start a year once.
I remember in college, it was a Sunday night game because I dropped my mom off and I went and parked her car at the church, and then I brought it back when the game was over.
Let me see.
Feels like 2010, 2011.
Let me see.
I'm going to fill this dead air while he does the good research that we need.
Yeah, we're just looking it up here.
we want to be as factually correct as we can be on this broadcast because we take this very seriously. And we appreciate all of you who listen to this broadcast, man. We wouldn't be here. I mean, we would be here without you because
No, I was right.
His
first game, no, I'm just saying because I remember it was a Sunday at 1:00. His first game
Okay.
back, but the first time he was a starter back,
Okay.
yeah, that was the primetime game.
Okay.
But his first game back, he was backing up McNabb, and he came in and he scored though. He scored twice in that game. I'll never forget. It's just weird because obviously when he came in for his package, that's when he got the
touchdown.
Yeah. You could, what I mean? Everybody knew you could tell he was probably juiced about it too. And
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll get back sex.
Yeah, essentially. That's the easiest way to put it.
Are we going to go into college football next?
Yeah, let's get into it. We got a huge week of college coming our way. Let me pull up that schedule. But obviously, we can go ahead and get started with the home team since we're both repping them. And this was not coordinated, guys. I promise. We're one wavelength at this point.
So cute. That is so cute.
It is. But yeah, let's start off with Georgia, Bama. Georgia's beaten Alabama twice since 2007. Oh, no, you wanted to get in. This is the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Hey, Paul, how we doing?
We're doing all right. May I ask your name, caller?
Oh, man, this is Adam from Athens.
Adam, tell us what you think about what's going to happen on this Sunday, or this Saturday, rather.
Paul, I'm excited, man. I'm super excited because Georgia, Bama has just been a itchy mosquito bite for this program for years. Since Saban came in and took over, we just haven't been able to just deliver against Alabama like we're supposed to. But that offensive line they got this year is weak. Kalen DeBoer, he doesn't belong in the SEC. And this Georgia team coming off of a bye and a great victory against Tennessee, I think we're going to pull it out, Paul. What are your thoughts on this Georgia-Alabama game this year, Paul?
Well, Adam, I look at data, and the data tells me that Alabama has the upper hand in these matches, no matter how much better Georgia is. Kalen DeBoer himself is 1-0 against Kirby Smart too. He too has not. He just like Nick Saban, he's keeping up the tradition. I relegate it back to even the NFL. If you look at the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers congratulates Jordan Love because he still owns the Bears. It didn't matter who was under center. And in this case, it doesn't matter who's got the headset on. I think that it's going to be a challenging game one way or another for Georgia because now Alabama's already had their hiccup. And it should be an interesting game all in all. But, Adam, give me 1 second. It's the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Sorry, Coach.
I think that Alabama is primed to get an upset in this type of spot. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the quarterback play. Who's going to play better? Is it going to be Ty Simpson or is it going to be Gunnar Stockton? And Adam, that's pretty much my read on the game.
Paul, I hear your read. I hear this stuff, man. But Alabama, they're pathetic pansies. Kalen DeBoer, he's a pathetic pansy, and he doesn't belong in our SEC. And the dogs are gonna sick them. Go dogs, sick them. Thanks, Paul.
We appreciate the call, Adam. We're actually about to get somebody else here on the line. Caller, who is this?
Hey, Paul. This is Teddy from Tuscaloosa.
Teddy, I'm sure you
Paul,
just heard what
I heard that smug son bitch from Athens get on the phone, and what he needs to understand is rain, sun, sleet, hail, snow. It doesn't matter. The roll tide is gonna roll. Roll tide, roll. Look here now. Me and Legend, we can come on here. We can say whatever we want about Kalen DeBoer because we don't like Kalen DeBoer because he is a whore. But you do not talk about our coach. You tell your coach he come beat him. I mean, hell, Kirby wish he was here in Tuscaloosa anyways. Roll tide, roll. Thanks, Paul.
All right, thanks, Teddy. And that was our daily weekly segment of Call Paul, guys. But nonetheless, it really should be an interesting game. I think that Georgia obviously has to win this game. Obviously, I mean, Alabama kind of needs to win the game, but like Georgia really needs to win this game because we need to put that we got to put that to bed.
And we need to beat them, and we need to like get out on them early.
Beat them good.
Yeah, we need to beat them by a solid 2 touchdowns where we're up the whole game.
Yeah, it needs to look like the Florida State game to a degree, honestly. Like, because then I'm not going to say that that's a measuring stick because that was the first game of the year, but like it kind of is a measuring stick. Florida State was able to do this at home. What are we going to be able to do at home, right? And you don't want to lose that game because then not only – I'm not going to say it deflates the conference. I can't remember the last time Georgia lost a game early in the season. Normally when we lose games, they're towards the end. And so, you know, maybe in the Mark Richt era, we would lose this. We might have lost to South Carolina in week 2 or something. But, like –
good for that one.
Yeah, but typically outside of that, you know, I don't really recall Georgia taking losses early. We get to about midpoint in the season. You know, it's at least October by the time. So a September loss would be a little shocking. Gundy did look a lot better against Tennessee. He proved that the team is not the power team. You know, it's just the team. But well, it's true. And so
that's the malarkey.
I look forward to it. I mean, I know that's what I'll be watching. I can't believe that college football decided to pit that game at 7:30, which is the same exact time that Penn State and Oregon play too. So that's a little odd. Your 2 biggest games are going to be going on at the same time. One of these games should have been at 4:30. And I know that there's more than just that going on.
You know, back in the day when Georgia was good on good old CBS, we would have had a nice 3:30 game. Georgia versus Alabama, middle of the day, just like we like it in the SEC. I like SEC midday games. I'm not here for the night games. Save that for the Pac-12 and the Big Ten. They can have that shit. Give me a good old-fashioned 3:30 game on the college campus.
Well, a little Brad Nessler, huh?
Oh man, I miss those guys.
Yeah, they relegated. What is Brad Nessler's calling like Big 12 games now, and
all games that I don't want.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? Because if you don't have any change on it, there's no really any reason to watch that. It's like, oh, this game didn't feature any contenders. You know what I mean? There's no contender in the game.
You know, Scatterbo left the conference.
Yeah, Scat Pack's gone. You still got Prime, though. Woj Wine is still there.
I mean, do you watch them? They change quarterbacks every week.
He's winning. They're 3-1 or something like that, right?
Yeah, we got USC versus Illinois, if you care about that one.
No thanks. After seeing what happened to Illinois at Indiana, I don't have any interest in that game whatsoever.
Hey, question for you. So it seems like Cignetti's turned that program around. He has that thing humming. Do you think he should leave, or should he just stay there and just be like, hey, I'm going to be the Indiana guy. I'm going to be expected to win 8 games a year. So anything above that is a plus for me, and I can keep this whole thing running.
He stays until he gets the right job, right? And that's kind of always how it goes for most of these guys. People like Luke Fickell, like he's not smart, right? No, and I mean that. You know why? Because now Luke Fickell's got people in Madison, you know, taking out ads in the local paper, you know, asking for him to get fired. Luke could have taken the Notre Dame job and didn't take it for whatever reason, and then waited a year later and took the Wisconsin job, which I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of a confusing move to me. But
or he could have stayed at Cincinnati and just overachieved at a smaller program and had a job security and a statue after he retired.
Yeah, and maybe that should have been the case too. Because I'm trying to think, isn't that where what's his face came from? He was the D coordinator for Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of odd. He took his D coordinator, and granted, I know he played at Notre Dame, right? No, where did he play?
He played at Marcus played at Ohio State.
Right. Yeah, because that was the big deal with the national championship. Regardless, point being,
Riley Leonard sucked in that game, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, that Ohio State team was pretty good. Like, that was a good Ohio State team. Which they've got an interesting game this week at Washington, and the spread has come down mightily on that game because apparently the boy at Washington can play.
Yeah, Rick Neuheisel will pick Washington to win straight up.
Yeah, I think that's a bit far fetched, but I don't think that they're going to get upset. Washington wasn't a very good team last year, and granted, they had to pick up the pieces from the national championship year. You lose Penix, you lose DeBoer, like Roma Dunze, like they lost a lot, obviously.
Yeah, Jalen Polk.
Yeah, Braylon Trice, yeah, lost all those guys. And then even last year, and maybe that's what's actually helping them. They lost Steve Belichick, right? Maybe that's why people think that they can win because Steve Belichick can't stop a parked car either. He can't. If you watch North Carolina, I watched North Carolina against UCF, and I don't know. The defense looked like the problem to me. It didn't even look like it was really the offense. I mean, Freddie Kitchens didn't seem like he was I could just tell they just don't have good personnel offensively, but defensively, tackling and being in position seemed like an issue.
Just it's year one. They got to take time to get the Belichick scheme in there and get the right guys in there to execute a scheme where they're playing football freely and not thinking. It's complex.
Sure. And then another good game that we got is LSU Ole Miss, obviously.
Take the over.
Yeah, that's what Lane said, guys. And I think I might take him up on that advice. We'll see once we get to the picks. But, yeah, Lane Kiffin's daughter comes out this week and does an unveiling of her new boyfriend who just so happened to be a linebacker for LSU. And that's where
when they said that before I saw the picture, I'm like, ooh, LSU linebacker. I didn't think she would swing that way.
Yeah.
If you pick it up what I'm putting down.
Well, it's interesting. I'm curious. Does she go there or does she go to Ole Miss? Like, where?
I don't know. I don't know. She's a little young for me, so I just don't even look. She's legal, obviously.
Right.
But I don't really like looking at hot college girls.
Right. Totally
Just
understandable.
I avoid that one, because
yeah.
I mean, would you mess with a 20-year-old?
No, not currently, no.
Yeah, no, me neither. Like, I don't even think I could one night stand a 20-year-old because where the hell do I meet a 20-year-old at? Like, why are we in the same place? How are we having a good enough conversation to get to going home together?
Well, where do you meet one, and then more importantly, what can you do with it? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I guess you could fuck them, but like outside of that, like, what are you really doing? You know what I mean? Like, so,
and she's probably not even good in the sack yet.
Yeah, she hadn't ran through enough guys, huh? But
I didn't say that.
Anywho, we're gonna get off that. Oregon, Penn State. The other big game, obviously, like I just said, going to be going on at the same time as Georgia. Big game, obviously, for Big Ten land. Like, this pretty much will decide who's going to play Ohio State, most likely, for that Big Ten championship. And I'm not going to say just punches a ticket to the college football playoff, but outside of kind of having to play Ohio State, it's nobody else that you're really going to have to worry about. I mean, some could say Indiana, possibly. I'm not sure what Indiana's schedule looks like, to where if they play any of them. I mean, USC certainly looks like they're spry or whatever, but
sure.
Yeah, it should be an interesting game there. I know this, Dante Moore, the quarterback for Oregon, if they win that game, my suggestion to people would be to sprinkle a little bit of money on him for the Heisman odds.
So no Arch Manning.
No, and with Mateer, because Mateer was the favorite. And obviously he's hurt. The quarterback for Oklahoma, he broke his something in his throwing hand, and apparently he broke it in the first quarter and gutted it out. But he's about to be out. They said it said indefinitely, and then some people said it'll be at least a month. Season's over for Oklahoma, right?
Yep.
And so he won't be winning the Heisman. And
what about Cade Klubnik?
What about Cade Klubnik? Look, Cade Klubnik is trying to hold on to a first-round grade at this point. He doesn't have anything else to play for. So.
We didn't even talk about Dabo.
You mean the 1-3 Clemson Tigers? That's why we're not talking about them. They're 1-3. I mean, we knew it was over when they lost last week, but
I accidentally pushed the button. My bad.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, you know,
go ahead.
what's up? I was just gonna say Dabo and Sean Payton lost last week, so it's still a good week despite the Falcons losing.
And the Saints got blown
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't get Dabo, Sean Payton, and the Saints losing, back-to-back weeks very often. So when
They
you
lost
get
by
these,
more than us too. The Saints, that is, which is hard to
well,
do because we lost by 30.
that was the game too. That's the worst part. Like we the game was competitive.
Yeah.
Until halftime. I missed that shot, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's next? What's next, LAP? We're gonna talk W playoffs. We're gonna talk in the NBA off season. We got an hour. We're gonna go to culture. What direction do you want to go? You lead, I follow.
Well, we got to finish off here, at least with this SEC rivalry set.
Oh yeah, we do.
And how that kind of got set up here. Hold on, I'm pulling up the
IG post.
Yeah. Okay.
Welcome to Atlanta, baby.
Okay, 3 annual rivalries. Where's that?
Oh, you got to scroll up a little bit.
I just went to the SEC's official. They have it here. I'm just trying to. They have the setup and how it's going to work.
Didn't we just exchange that yesterday?
There's a lot of stuff that's going on in between then, but I can go ahead and tell you this. I got one of them pulled up. Like for instance, Alabama's is Auburn, Mississippi State, Tennessee. Kind of checks out, I guess. Mississippi State. I guess Mississippi State needed an annual rival at that point. I maybe would have ventured to say Florida, possibly, or I wouldn't do Georgia, but Florida might have been maybe the next option as opposed to a Mississippi State. But again, I guess they kind of have to give everybody that one game that, and I know in the SEC there's no such thing as a cupcake, but kind of your cupcake game out of that annual one.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
How do you feel about us losing Tennessee?
I don't like it. And I think it's because, again, it goes back to even with the Alabama one, how I just went through that. I feel like South Carolina, because we knew that Florida was going to be one.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And Auburn being the oldest, what is it? Because Georgia Tech's plain old fashioned hate. Auburn is the oldest rivalry in the South. Or something.
Yeah, the Deep South oldest rivalry.
Yeah. So you knew that those two were going to be it, and you would have thought Tennessee would be the third. But I get it. Again, I feel like with South Carolina, well, who would have been theirs, right? Georgia is considered their big game. So it's like,
yeah, and that South Carolina rivalry was kind of born out of Steve Spurrier going up there. And then obviously you have the recruiting battles because they're shared ground. But, that Steve Spurrier Georgia game, that was always a big game no matter how good each team was. And, Steve Spurrier was a thorn in Georgia's side for a long time.
Yeah, well, he's the head ball coach.
I mean, yeah, he gave Urban the blueprint.
He's the head ball coach. Another interesting one, I guess, to a degree. They have LSU set up with A&M, Arkansas, and Ole Miss.
Location. Why are they not?
But you would have thought Bama. Yeah, you would have thought Bama would have been one. I mean, and again, I get it. I'm guessing Arkansas would have needed one, right? Like and I know that they actually have a trophy. That is a rivalry because they have a trophy for that game. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Because to me, you look at this. Texas gets Oklahoma, A&M, Arkansas. Makes total sense. That one makes the most sense, right? Makes sense that's what Texas's rivalries are set up to be. And I'm sure that Oklahoma's have got to be similar here. I'm pulling them up.
Oklahoma has Missouri, Ole Miss, and Texas. That makes sense.
I maybe would have given them A&M too, though.
Yeah, I would have preferred A&M over Ole Miss. because then that gives you that old Big 12.
Correct, right. So that's what would have made the most sense. But I mean, I get it. I guess at this point, they had to shuffle the deck around a little bit to make it make sense for everybody.
But LSU Bama doesn't make LSU and Bama not being tied to each other every year is bullshit, if you ask me.
Yeah, and even because, like, for instance, there were just certain teams like Auburn. You knew that Bama was going to be one. You knew Georgia was going to be one. So you had to only pick one more. They chose Vandy.
Yeah, Vandy
You know what I
needs
mean?
somebody.
Right. Yeah, they had to pick somebody out of the litter. But, yeah, I mean, no, all in all, I guess that they did exactly what it is that they could do. But at the end of the day, I think they got it right for the most part. But it's hard to believe that Georgia doesn't play Tennessee every year and then LSU doesn't play Bama every year.
Yeah, it just doesn't sit right with my spirit.
Yeah. Just didn't set up the way we would hope from that perspective. But again, you think you would have ended up with South Carolina and Missouri being like every year rivals, which I think at that point, I know South Carolina's been there forever, but Missouri, another newcomer, I would have been okay with Missouri, like kind of playing Texas. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like because that's old Big 12.
Big 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to the old Big 12.
But moving along, I think we might as well just jump into this whole Jimmy Kimmel thing, man. Do you think that Jimmy coming back yesterday was a win for freedom of speech or just a warning shot for what's to come?
I'm gonna say it was a win for Americans who are afraid of the direction that some think that this government and this regime is going in. Because if you take the people suspending their Hulu account, their Hulu Disney Plus accounts, canceling their trips to Disney, not tuning into the network, it shows you that when people can rally around a cause, when Americans can rally around a cause, and think about it, we rallied around Jimmy Kimmel, the millionaire who's going to be okay, not the 100 people on his staff who may not be okay if the show gets canceled. It showed, and along with the Black Target boycott earlier this year, it shows us that if we really want to enact change, if we unite around a cause, we can do it. And the most important way to do it is to not only inconvenience people, but to affect their bottom line. And once ABC Disney saw that they were losing, I think one report said 6.5 billion in revenue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That'll make people get to fixing some shit.
Yeah.
So I'll say overall it's a win because he's able to get back. Yes, he did do an apology, but I don't feel like he came back tail in hand doing whatever it took to get back on air. No, he came back on the air with dignity, and his monologue was very touching. He was emotional, and he still cracked jokes. And what it all boiled down to was like him thanking the people who disagree with him, but stood up for his right to do it. Like that's beautiful. Seeing a Ted Cruz, a Tucker Carlson, a Candace Owens, a Ben Shapiro come out and support Jimmy Kimmel. And granted, it was all in self-interest because they know that once the Democrats get in power, they would do the same exact thing to their voices. But still, just for them to go against their quote unquote leader, to stand up for a cause that is important, man. I was debating with some people in YouTube comments yesterday about this because I'm like, how can you stand on the First Amendment? I mean, how can you shit on the First Amendment while standing on the Second Amendment? It doesn't make sense to me. You either support the Bill of Rights or you don't. You support the Constitution or you don't. You support American values or you don't. So to see Americans come together and stand up for our values and let the power structure know that, hey, y'all may get a lot over on us, but what you're not going to do is just openly and blatantly spit in our faces. I think it's an overall win.
For sure. But it does go to show the power of what this regime has, because the idea that the FCC would step in and essentially strong arm Disney and say, if y'all don't take this shit off, you know, we're just going to take you up the air. Right. And again, it is a power struggle in a sense of, okay, on one hand, you're thinking to yourself, this just isn't right. Like, it's just not right. And for one, I guess my biggest gripe with this whole thing was that I didn't think he said anything wrong, just at all, period. I think I've heard more offensive shit on TV than that, to be honest with you.
Bro, in the same week, the dude on Fox News said that the homeless people should be involuntarily hit with the shot if they don't follow the government policies.
Yeah, and that goes, this gets swept under the rug when you hear things like that, right? Because, well, it's freedom of speech, right? This is his take on it, but he's not. He didn't get suspended indefinitely.
No,
banned for like a week or whatever. He's probably shooting some shit right now, for all I know.
Bro, he did a bullshit apology, and they kept it moving.
So they Don Imused him, huh?
Nah, they didn't even Don Imus him. He just did an apology, no suspension or nothing.
Wow. Well, Don, he just had to recant basically real quick and apologize about it.
And talk to Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah. And old Don ended up being okay. He ended up being all right. Wouldn't that be wild of him to say that, though? When you really think back to it.
It's absolutely wild. But you know what? The government didn't intervene. His network said, hey, this is unacceptable on our airwaves based upon the responses that we received for what you said.
Yeah.
That wasn't a First Amendment. That's not a First Amendment issue because your employer can tell you what they deem acceptable, especially on their time.
Yeah.
But the government can't do that, especially when you're pushing back on people who are negative towards you. And you speak about how you want these negative voices to go away. It's bullshit. It's un-American. And the Americans who stand by and support this just because they support the movement that this regime is pushing, it's un-American. Like that's what I want people to understand. You claim God and country, America first. Cool. But understand what America truly is. And America is a place where we are allowed to be different, and the government can't tell us who we're going to be. Especially when it comes to freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of religion, your right to own a weapon, your ability to vote for elected officials.
Yeah.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The government can't infringe upon that. And Jimmy Kimmel saying what he said, and he was telling the truth. He was telling the truth that, hey, people are trying to politicize this person's death and point to the left instead of just pointing out who it was that killed this man. Unfortunate event, sad event. Nobody should die for their freedom of speech, whether or not we agree with the speech or not. But you should not die for that. And for people to then politicize it, to try to turn the people, which they successfully have done, turn American people against each other, it's bullshit. Jimmy Kimmel talked about it, but the government works for the people. They represent the people. The people do not represent the government. We do not work for them. Now, if you are a government employee, obviously you work for the government. But as a citizen of this country, our elected officials are public servants who are supposed to look out for the greater good of the people.
Yeah.
And inciting violence and exciting political I don't know if it's political violence or just political chaos.
Good versus bad to me.
Yeah, like trying to make this good versus bad, left versus right. No. This was sad. This was unfortunate, but don't try to fucking spin it. Yes, as a media platform, you discuss it and you speak honestly about it. Like I can say I don't care what happened, but I can say it and then say it's unfortunate. Somebody else can say I was deeply affected by this because I was locked in on this person, and this is a sad day for me.
Right.
Both things can exist, and somebody else can say fuck him. I don't care. He deserved it. People can say that. They shouldn't, but they can. That's the beauty of America. But if you're gonna talk about Charlie Kirk, take your job information off your LinkedIn, bro. We don't want to get your doxed out here.
Yeah.
Hey, that man's getting a coin too, right?
Yeah, right. Well, literally right before we came on, there's something that's been proposed. I'm trying to think if I said it to you. I want to be correct in everything that I'm saying here. That there's a proposal for, I think it said 400,000 mint coins, basically, that have his likeness on there. And, to me, I think that's too much. I don't understand why that would be. Again, it's unfortunate that he died, right? In the manner that he died. It certainly is terrible that happened. It shouldn't happen to anyone. That should never happen. But at the same time, to quote Cameron, as in Paid in Full, niggas die every day, B. Because they do. Every single day, somebody dies of gun violence. And that doesn't mean that they were any less of a patriot, too. If he's considered a patriot, and that's what this is about. There's several people that die as patriots. There are people that die in war that do not get this. They do not get the treatment of the vice president taking them on AF2 and
have the president speak at the funeral.
Yeah,
vice president speak at the funeral.
Having a funeral that, and look, I understand somebody could look at me and they could say, well, Kobe Bryant didn't deserve to have a funeral at Staples Center.
Bullshit. He packed it out for 20 years.
Right. And Kirk's from Phoenix, and they decided to use State Farm.
No, he's from Chicago.
Well, I know he lived in Phoenix.
Well, yeah, but he's from the suburbs of Chicago.
Okay. I misspoke there. But he lived in Phoenix, and that's where they had it, right? And so
that's crazy.
And they did all that. And so it's interesting to me that they would even propose something like this, because I don't think that this warrants that. And again, it's just my opinion. I can be wrong on this too, but I think that there are way more people that would think, man, we should not be putting our money into something like this. But then again, it almost seems like an opportunity to make money off of it too. So you could kind of look at it from that angle as well, if that's how you want to take it, right?
Yeah.
So
sorry, I'm trying to adjust my camera here. It just has a mind of its own, and then just
goddamn technology is taking over, which actually really gets us to our next point, because we're done with this, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it segues perfectly into this. AI dating. I don't know if you got it up. I didn't see the exact whole article, but you could just go ahead and explain it for the good people here on what this new AI dating is supposed to do for us.
So essentially, the AI folks of the world are saying that instead of just swiping left and right, you're obviously going to put in your preferences and all of that stuff, and then the AI is going to track you, because AI tracks everything that we do. And obviously they can track us wrong, because you saw this AI tracking camera just totally just get off of me. But anyways, they're gonna AI. So apparently we're gonna start allowing AI to interact with other people's AI so that they can date each other, and then you decide whether or not you're gonna actually match up and meet each other, because your AI has already vetted it out for you. That is some of the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life. I don't want AI. It's one thing if AI is going to dictate my algorithm. Okay, cool. But I don't want you to dictate my dating life. I actually like to go out places and meet women and talk to them in real life and be normal. I'm not good at texting chicks that I don't know. I don't have that much to talk about if I don't know you.
Well, they'll just put you off the clock if you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like your time will run out.
It'll expire. 23 hours, that's too much time.
Yeah.
Bruh, 23 hours. What are women expected? Is a woman truly? This is separate from this AI conversation because he wants to throw little jabs in here, motherfucker.
That wasn't no jab. That wasn't a jab. Stop it.
It wasn't a jab. It was a funny joke, funny inside joke that now has me triggered because what do you expect? My life does not revolve around you. We're not dating. You're not my girl. We ain't hooking up. You ain't my wife. You ain't my side piece. You ain't my best friend. You ain't shorty that I really rock with. Nah, you just a woman who we got mutual interest. I'm not talking to you all day, every day.
Well, that's where that's where the AI comes in, though, Lee. It responds for you. It gets an algorithm of your type of responses, and it just responds in the way that it should.
And how do you build a relationship and a bond with somebody? You can't even properly manipulate somebody if it's just your AI talking to their AI. Now, if it's my AI talking directly to them, and my AI is getting my shit off, cool. Not cool. But I can understand why one would do it.
Hey, that's going to be a part of the subscription price for the premium members.
Like, hey, we got a toxic meter over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then how does your AI? I mean, I guess your AI knows what you like to look at, based on the bro. That shit's weird. Dog, touch Earth. People.
It's disconnecting us as people. It's already bad enough that most people have their phones on them 24/7, right? And the idea of the attention, and that's really what this is. Justice coined this phrase not too long ago, the war on attention. It's who can grab your attention, whether that's football, social media,
podcast,
like whatever it is. It's a war on attention. Who can grab that currency that is your eyeballs and your attention? That's what it's turning into. And it's just not enough hours in the day. If you've got family, spend time with your family. If you've got loved ones, spend time with those. If you've got friends, see them every once in a while. Call them sometimes. It really makes a big difference. We get so wrapped up in everything that's technology to where the technology is starting to become us, and it does wither away that friendship aspect of it because everything is done, through this fucking machine. Like, you know what I mean? And it's a terrible way. Like I cringe at the idea of my daughter growing up in this world where technology has taken over. It's essential. Yes, it's needed. Everybody knows technology's needed, but that's why I can't just let her be on her iPad all day. I just can't do it. We got to get outside and touch some grass, baby girl.
Yeah, no, people have to be people. And a lot of this discourse that we see, this nasty discourse on social media, the Jimmy Kimmels, the Charlie Kirks, the back and forth, a lot of this stuff exists because we are more disconnected as a people. We get on here and we talk shit about Rich McKay. It's fun. It's funny. But if we had to see Rich McKay every week at the press briefing, at the press conference, we would talk about him differently.
We wouldn't shit on him.
No, I mean, we would shit on him more respectfully.
We would be objective in what it is that we're seeing going on.
And when you're actually face to face with a person, you talk differently. When you're talking on the phone or FaceTime, you talk differently than when you text or when you just can get on a podcast without an audience while you're talking to just get your shit off. And there's time and space for that. But you also got to go touch earth. You have to understand that if you talk crazy to people, you can get punched in your face. Sadly, if you talk too crazy about certain people, you can get killed.
You don't even have to directly be talking to them. You just put it out on social media and somebody will come do it.
Yeah, dog. People need to treat technology and social media, all of this stuff as a way to enhance their lives, but not a way to make their lives. This shit should not be your main course. This should be dessert. This should be a side. This should be an appetizer. This should not be the protein that drives the meal. You should not go to the AI factory for AI. No. You go to the steakhouse to get steak. We want to eat steak. Like, hey, we use AI for this podcast to generate some of our visuals, to help sort the show sometimes, to help give us descriptions, titles.
Right. It's an enhancer. It's making that steak Oscar.
Exactly.
The interaction is organic between us, right? Like, it's not scripted. This is organic. It's me and you going back and forth.
Exactly.
And we use that just to enhance it. There's nothing that's done to create our likeness to where we're not even really here talking, or we're reading from a script talking to each other, because we put in the topics and we don't know what to talk about.
Bingo. We create the topics, and then I know sometimes if I have a topic and I can't think of a good prompt, hey, give me a few prompts for this topic.
And then you can go in and edit them yourself too. It's not, I mean, you might copy and paste. I don't know, but like you still probably might edit it yourself too. Like, so
yeah, or I might copy and paste it and put it into the notes. But the way that we're gonna address the topic does not come from AI. AI just helped us with the question. Yeah. What's the right question to ask? I mean, I do it less for this show because we do this show probably twice a week before it happens.
Or once before, once after.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean, Wednesday's the middle of the week, literally.
Hey, but you were talking about the what did Justice say? What was his quote?
That this stuff's the war on attention.
The war on attention. And I was confronted with somebody who does a great job in the war of attention. And she is amazing at grabbing people's attention and grabbing their ears, their eyes, their backs, anything that she wants to give them. I mean,
their time,
makes people pay to wait 12 hours to just take a picture.
That costs money.
You had to buy a physical of the album. So like $15.
So wait, did they make both of y'all buy a physical?
I mean, if I went with somebody, yeah.
I'm saying they made both of you buy it.
If I went with another person, then yes, that other person would have had to buy another physical copy.
So Russian Cream and, well, I know they were going to, it didn't have to be a 2-for-1 there.
No. You want me to show some people some of the interaction I had out there before I really go in?
If you could, yeah, please.
Okay, let's go.
Cardi B was in Atlanta, by the way, guys. As I'm sure anyone that looks at Spiritual Word or the Shade Room or
TSR, Hollywood Unlocked.
Yeah.
Just the internet. If you're on Black social media, you saw it. And I went to the event. I did not meet Cardi B. The event was scheduled to start at 1:00. I showed up around 12:30. I left around 6:00, and the event had not started yet. But here's some of the footage I got while I was out there. So I'm interviewing them.
Okay, let's go. Okay,
let's go. What's y'all's favorite song?
Everybody.
Everybody?
Yeah.
Every
time, everybody. I'm with all that. I love all the songs.
How come?
How come? What you mean? How come?
It's
Cardi B. Everything she touches is gold.
My favorite one is Magnet.
I've never heard no dub. I've been working since What's Poppin'.
Mine is Magnet.
Magnet? Mm. Why the Magnet?
She popped her shit, like big shit on that song. She'll take everything she needs to take.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? It's not my favorite song, but the song I probably listen to the most is the Lizzo joint.
What is it called? What's going on?
Yeah. Because it takes me back to when I was a little bit younger and lived in San Diego and used to go to like the white bars.
Okay.
They're like, okay. Yeah. But anyway, so y'all out here grabbing content. Where can we find y'all at?
You can find us. You can find me on TikTok at tylee.1. That's TYLEE.1.
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok, Twitter, all that. It's Russian Cream is RVSSIANKRM. Yeah.
Boom.
All right, that's the bet.
All right.
I didn't start at the beginning. Hold on. I got to play the beginning.
I got this.
What's the name of that?
I'm Tylee.
Tylee?
Yeah.
What's the name of that?
I'm Russian Cream.
One more time.
Russian Cream.
Russian Cream?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I like that.
So, they came out here interviewing people. I'm supposed to be out here interviewing people, so I'm interviewing them.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, there we go. We can get this off the screen.
How was the experience for the viewers, Lee? Because again, I know that you spoke about it a little bit on Village Vets, but tell me a little bit more in depth, just like you were asking them, how come?
So you want to know what brought me out there?
Sure.
So I go out there because, I'm trying to find different avenues to produce content, getting out of the studio, getting around people, touching earth, going in places that may not be my typical place of going, being around people who, this show doesn't necessarily reach out to, but it's putting our name out there, connecting with different creators, watching the event, people watching, seeing what people respond to, seeing what they like, saying like, hey, how could we take our more traditional approach and discussion and broaden that to a wider audience? And how can we encompass those people into wanting to consume the products that we put out? So that was my basis of going there. And I thought I was going to do a lot of just boots on the ground, talking to the fans, but I realized I don't want to talk to them. It was 90 degrees. It was hot, long line. Cardi B didn't get started on time. I don't know what time the thing started because I left before she got there. And then she had the audacity and the nerve to go on Instagram Live while all of these people are outside waiting in line. People took off from work to go to this. I think that's insane. But again, it's a war on attention. And Cardi B is winning the war on your attention. And I'm like, lady, you're a star. You're pregnant. Things happen. I didn't expect you to show up at 1:00. I didn't. 2, 2:30, 3 at the latest. But these fans, for one, purchased an album that they are not going to listen to. They got it streaming on their phones. No one's carrying around a CD player. Most cars don't have CD players anymore. People don't have CD players in their houses. Your PlayStation ain't got a CD player. Your laptop don't have a CD player on it anymore. People don't listen to CDs. But people came out to buy your CD to show support for you. At least have the decency to show up for your fans. Show up on time. Respect their time, respect their money, respect their commitment to making you a bigger and bigger millionaire. You heard the guy on there said everything that Cardi touches is gold. Now, there's a conversation we can have about blind fandom, but again, you learn about that stuff while you're out there because Parlay Pete and I, we're fans of Jay-Z, we're fans of Kanye, we're fans of Lil Wayne, we're fans of Drake, we're fans of Future. But we wouldn't say everything these guys touch is gold. Like, nah, that nigga put out some bullshit.
I don't think I'd stand outside for hours to see them, honestly.
And under most circumstances, I wouldn't, right? It's stepping out of your comfort zone to try to do something. Now, I live in Cartersville. This event was in Riverdale. Once 3 o'clock hits. Yeah, but once 3 o'clock hits, my commute's fucked either way.
Yeah.
So it's like you've driven here. You might as well just wait it out. There's Suburbans in the back, so you think it might be her. Just wait for her to pop out at any given moment, But I left because I'm a man. I have pride. I'm not going to sit here and waste my day waiting to just meet somebody. She's not going to step on my back. I'm not going to take a picture and post, waited 12 hours, got knocked down 9 times, but got up 10, blase, blase, blah, which is always dumb because if you get knocked down one time, you get up one time. You get knocked down, back to the D-Wade commercial. No. If you fall 9 times, you get up 9 times because you already start up. But that's just me just picking at words. But no, it was sacrilegious. It was against God. Because at that point, you are putting a God before him. Are people waiting outside 6 hours to go to church?
Nope.
Are people even wanting to be in church for 6 hours?
Brother, there are people in this world that have not read Bible for 6 hours during their whole life span. Think about that for a second.
But you'll wait that long for Cardi B. Now, if I started putting that stuff in my head and being like, I don't feel like being here anymore. You know what? I'm leaving.
Out. And you got people trying to cut you too in line.
Oh yeah, they got the girl. She tried to cut me. She come up there with an umbrella, a chair, and bumping into me. And I'm like, hey, girl, goddamn, you just keep bumping into me. If you was trying to pass me, just say something. I'm sorry. I was like, no, you're not. I'm sorry. You're not sorry. It's okay not to be sorry because you want it to be in line. Just say that. What am I going to do? Yeah, what am I going to do? I'm not going to fight you. One person getting in front of me does not change anybody's day.
Right,
We're still
because
going
these
to
people clearly are going to wait as long as it takes anyways to get that picture and that interaction with those areolas. But, you know, this is how I look at it, Lee. Those type of people, like your Russian creams and your Thai, whatever he said his name was, these are the type of people. Now, you just get to see it now. This is the touching grass aspect of it. These are the people that are Barty Gang on Twitter showing up in person. So you get to kind of see the face behind the tweets, right? Behind the hats. And, you know, those people are
the at or the ass?
Ats.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. The social media presence. But these fan pages and stuff like that, I used to think it was sick. I mean, it is sick. It's sick with any of them. There are Kanye ones too. I don't support that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love his music. I think he's an inspiration. But outside of that, I like his music and some of his fashion stuff. And he does actually say some real shit sometimes. But outside of that, that is not a daily part of my day. That is not something I want to get online and do. And I could be the biggest fan anyone knows. Same thing with just anyone. It doesn't anyone. You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy.
I mean, I don't think they're the bigger Kanye, Kobe, Matt Ryan fan in the world. Yeah,
and I don't do any of that stuff. You know, when Kobe died, I made a post about it, and I kept it pushing after that.
Yeah.
You know, like, because he was a huge inspiration as a kid. Certainly somebody wanted to play in the NBA. Like, he definitely was who I wanted to play like in the NBA. But, like, but when you get to see this stuff in person, it's just like, wow, you know, these people really are delusional. And it's okay to be a fan. Like, I get it. They might be like, well, you look stupid as fuck every Sunday, dressing up, wearing a jersey, a hat, and matching clothes and spending hundreds of dollars to go watch your team get beat. Guilty as charged, right? But it's just one of those things when you look at it, like you said, it's almost unholy. And I'm not to be the one to just cast the first stone, but that shit's it's unhealthy. You know,
it's idol worship.
Yeah, and Cardi B, especially her giving the middle finger to the fans, you would think that would cause something to where, at a bare minimum, maybe the albums or the physical copies are on the house, and now it's just a keepsake for you to have. Like, you can just have it. I don't know, almost like a program. Like, if you go to a fight, or if you used to buy Madden and get the booklet, like, you know what I mean, just to have the physical, because it's physical media at least. But, like, outside of that, you know, if she was smart, if people actually did what they were supposed to do, hold her accountable to make wasting these people's hours, 7-8 hours. People put in a shift.
Dog,
a girl shift to stand there.
A girl said she waited 12 hours. When I was in line, there were people talking about the ones up front, at the very front. They came the night before. No, the night before.
So they treated this shit like a Jordan release back in the day.
Yeah, in the stinking, hungry, holding they pee and boo-boo to see Cardi B. And, like, what really threw me off, Pete, they wheeled out the rental lights from Sunbelt Rental. And I said, hold on. It's 4:00 and y'all bringing out night lights? Man, hell no.
Where were you at in line, by the way? If you had to guess, at the peak of it for you, right before you left, how many people do you think were in front of you, and then how many people do you think were behind you?
When I got there, obviously I was the last person in line.
Right.
And, bro, I don't know, because people were leaving. Like, so the line moved regularly while I was there.
Because people were like, this is bullshit, too.
Yeah. There were people who were saying this was bullshit. I think that was driven by the plus ones who were there with their girl.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we're doing this. And so, bro, I don't know. When I broke it down, I'm like, it's almost 6:00 now. They say she's going to start at 6. If she takes 30 seconds per person, there are at least 300 people in front of me. So that's 150 minutes.
Yeah.
That is 2.5 hours. If she starts at
Right.
6 o'clock.
Right.
Fuck and no. I'm telling you, dog, after like 4:30, I was only standing in line because there was just no point for me to leave at that time. Because
Yeah,
I would just
it was stand there or stand and sit in your car.
exactly. So I
Yeah.
might as well stand here because I might get what I came here for.
Yeah.
And last thing, the worst part about this, Parlay Pete, there was people out there with like little babies and strollers, and dog, it was hot as hell. I mean, I saw like 9 or 10 people pass out. You know, and they had water out there. They had a cooling station. They had the EMTs on site. They had a strong, heavy police presence. So I'm not even knocking the venue. The venue did the best that they could to support and all of that stuff. But Cardi B, man, you show up on time. Like you even did the announcement. It's gonna be 90 degrees. Don't make sure you're not stinking this and that. Well, don't have us out here waiting. I didn't even want to meet Cardi B in the state that I was in. Like, you know, when you done sweat it and then it's done dried and you done sweat it again.
Yeah.
Like, dog, I don't smell fresh. I don't look good.
You start touching yourself and you can feel that sweat dirt on you, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I had on a white button up, as you saw, so you know it got a little brown in it just because.
Oh yeah.
You know you go
nigga pits and shit.
Yeah. And I'm like, dang, Cardi, not even because it's Cardi. I don't want to make that type of impression on any woman I meet for the first time.
Right.
Man, I wasted Baccarat on that day. You know what I'm saying? I could have just threw on the bullshit cologne.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Lee, I am sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah, and I'm a Cardi B fan, but like not as much because fuck you. You're taking your fans for granted, and that's not cool. But again, I understand why these stars take their fans for granted and get mad when there are people who are objective when they talk about them, because you got a guy who's saying everything she touches is gold. And these are the people in her mentions all the time, in her comments all the time.
Defending her watching Nicki Minaj tweet, waiting on her to say something. Waiting for JT to say something. Waiting for Offset to say something. Waiting on some nigga in the NFL to say something about Diggs. Like,
right. Hey, think about this, dog. Right now, there are people, you know, Cardi B and Offset, they're going through their divorce, and they're having some money differences and properties and stuff, right?
Yeah.
These are the same people that are saying, no, Offset shouldn't get half, or he did this and that. And I'm like, well, hold on. If Offset made more money than Cardi, y'all would want Offset to give her half and give her whatever she wants in a divorce. Why can't he ask for the same when she generates more than he does? And that's no knock on Offset. I'd have no problem being the Offset to Cardi B in a much more healthy relationship. But Offset is up on his own. He's respected in his career. He's good. He's a better rapper than her. But she's a woman, and she's more probably.
I don't know.
So there's no shame in being Offset and you know, being with Cardi B. I mean,
absolutely. And the more I think about it, that's what you should have asked Russian Cream.
Bro, and
we already know what his answer would have been, because everything she touches is gold, so it doesn't really matter, I guess.
Well, Russian Cream didn't say that. His man's the other man's
Ty Lil or whatever.
Ty Lil, yeah.
Yeah. Well, either way, they felt the same. You know that they did. They felt the same. You know, they looked like they were about to girl out over that. But
I wonder how their pictures came out, Pause.
Well, you got their ads, so you can definitely search it. I have to imagine they've definitely got public pages. But anywho,
how about you look it up for me?
Huh?
How about you look it up? You know, I'm gonna look it up right now. You go ahead and transition now.
Well, and it's such a seamless transition here because we're dealing with pretty much the same type of fans. Same people, at least, that would be cheering on a Cardi B. they would be cheering on a WNBA playoffs. We got to see really kind of an all-time comeback yesterday. I'm glad that we were actually both watching it and kind of got to see what happened there. How about the Mercury and their low IQ basketball team somehow coming back from 20 down? And when I say low IQ basketball, guys, I say this based on what we saw yesterday. There were just a lot of questionable basketball decisions that were being made during the game. You're down this entire time. You do make a comeback. You get the lead, or you're down one, and or you're down three, and you've got 46 seconds left, and you use up the entire 24 seconds damn near to essentially score, as opposed to trying to get the quick bucket. I mean, it's a lot of dribbling around the perimeter. I get it. Maybe nobody was open. They didn't want to take a bad shot. Okay, well, you knew now that you had to definitely foul no matter what. And then what if you still miss that shot at the end? Then you're really fucked. Then the game's over. So
Yeah.
It was just odd. They scored at the end. It ended up working out in their favor because they were able to, they made their free throws, the lengths, and then they did come down and they were able to get that three that they desperately needed in order to tie the game. And then they took care of business in overtime. Certainly, we're going to have way better breakdown of the W, but what do you think so far? I think that we're on a collision course for a FIE versus Asia W championship.
Who's the real MVP?
Some could pit it that way. Yeah.
I think this is great for the WNBA because what we had New York in the win the championship last year. We had Vegas won it the year. They won the two before, right?
Correct.
So
I don't think the FIA hadn't won one yet either.
So has she?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. What they got there last year, right?
They lost to New York last year. It went to a game 5, and if you remember, it kind of came down almost to a game winner in that game. As a matter of fact, I know it did.
Yeah, she's not a champion. So I'm looking forward to seeing this final. That game last night was it's some of the reason why the WNBA is just not the TV product of the NBA. There are just certain points in the game where you just wish the athlete could get closer to the rim for the contested layup.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. Because some of those shots that Phoenix missed down the stretch, that Minnesota missed down the stretch, those are dunks in the NBA.
Yeah.
And and it's me who I watch the WNBA casually. I'm more than a casual, but I watch it casually, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's harder to predict outcomes of games when you're watching it because just certain places on the court where you just expect a bucket in an NBA game.
Yeah.
It's 50-50 in a WNBA game. So all in all, I hope that we get Asia versus FIE. And I don't really care who wins, if we're going to be honest. But if Asia wins that, I think that her and Bam can make some family decisions for next year. If that's what their plans. Because Bam, hey big dog. I know she's winning MVPs and getting
in the prime still. Yeah.
In the prime, but hey, big dog, you don't want to lose that relationship without the basketball deserves for Bam and Asia to have a kid. That's all I'm saying. That's selfish of me. It's a joke. They do what they want, but basketball needs. I mean, wouldn't it be great for them to have a basketball kid? You're talking about an Olympian, champion, MVP.
But both of them are Olympians.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Olympians,
yeah.
One's a champion, one played in 2 finals.
All-stars, no doubt.
All-stars, best, kind of the best at what they do.
That kid
Bam, as far as being an American Wemby, that's what we need.
Yeah, basically, that is basically what that would be, or genetically what the thought would be. That's what that would be. But
exactly.
Yeah, but I'm all W'd out. I guess it's time to get to some picks, huh?
Hey, we did see that men are supporting the WNBA more than women. So when women talk shit to me about the things that I have to say about the W, I watch it and I talk about it on my platform.
Yeah.
I
We're
care.
fans.
I mean, we are.
Yeah.
AG,
So,
AG, next season.
BG. We need her to bring that same energy that Alyssa Thomas
Ho,
brought.
shut the fuck up.
I don't hear nothing about BG. Pop.
We wanted to bring the same energy that Alyssa Thomas brought yesterday. I'm not going to say what I said to you on the phone because I just don't think that it's appropriate, but she needs to bring that type of energy.
You know, if Phoenix could actually, beat Minnesota instead of the MVP matchup, we could get the true matchup we need, and that's AT versus Chelsea Gray.
It would determine a lot in this league. It would determine a lot. But look, man, let's get to some college football picks.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Parlay P's College Football 6.
666. As you guys know, you know the drill. I just posting the college at this point, it just kind of doesn't make sense because you got to. I mean, I guess we could, but regardless, we still would like to go through them. I've actually been doing pretty well with college too, as opposed to the NFL. The NFL has been kind of rough to start this year, but either way, we'll go ahead and we'll get into it. All right, so let's start off here. We got Auburn at Texas A&M. You got Texas A&M. They're giving them 6.5 at home, and I like it, honestly. Auburn looked pretty good last week against Oklahoma, but at the end of the day, I don't know. I just like A&M in this spot. A&M's a little bit more battle-tested, beat Notre Dame. You know, I like A&M in this spot at home with the 12th man. So let's take Texas A&M 6.5. Next, you got Florida State at Virginia. This one's kind of a gimme, but, you know, I like a cheap win when we can get one. And, no, we will never go over minus 300 on any picks because that's a waste of my time and your time. But this one's kind of a gimme. It's a nice little parlay booster here. You got Florida State at Virginia. Give me Florida State on the money. We like Florida State there. Next, you got Utah State at Vandy. I think Vandy continues to roll. Diego Pavia really needs to start getting some Heisman consideration. If they go 10-2 or something like that, which is going to be tough for them to do, but like if they get double-digit wins, I mean, I'd consider it. I think that they need to consider it. But give me Vanderbilt minus 23. Then next, we get to the big dogs of the week. Oregon at Penn State. I like Oregon 3.5. I can't believe that they're kind of giving them 3.5, but I guess it makes sense. Penn State was kind of this favorite to be in the national championship this year. And, of course, Oregon's traveling from across the country. But I like Dan Lanning to come in and put his foot down and at least cover that spread. So this should be a really close game. Give me Oregon plus 3.5. Next, we got LSU at Ole Miss. I don't write the rules. Lane Kiffin does. He said take the over. We're taking the over, guys. Let's get Ole Miss over, or LSU at Ole Miss over 53.5. I actually really do think that they'll get over that number. And yeah, I just trust Lane Kiffin on this one. He says take the over. Because if I took the under and then it ends up being a 37-40 type game, then now I look like an idiot. It's like, well, the coach told you, didn't he? So we'll go ahead and
run it up.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and take the over there. And then finally, our game of the week, the game that we will most likely have our eyes glued to, we got Alabama at Georgia. We're going to take Georgia minus 2.5. I think that they should cover this spread. Kirby, again, he's beating Alabama, and DeBoer is no saving. So we're going to go ahead and take Georgia. And we're between the hedges. So you got to take Georgia minus 2.5 here.
All right, so we got A&M minus 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
Florida State on the money line.
Mm-hmm.
Vandy minus 23.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon plus 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
LSU and Ole Miss over 53.5.
Mm-hmm.
And UGA minus 2.5.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Parlay Picks NFL 6.
666. Looks like you just had that squeak out, squeak out.
Yeah, it did.
Like I'm hoping that we can get some of these to squeak through for us. It's been kind of rough sledding in the NFL. But anyways, let me get through this quick because this is actually going to get posted. All right, we got Green Bay at Dallas. I like over 46.5. I don't think that the Cowboys' defense is good, and I think that they are going to still find a way to score some points against Green Bay. Take the over. I like over 46.5. Next, we got the Indianapolis Colts at the Rams. I like the Rams minus 2.5. I think that they should cover this spread. I think that the Colts are not fraudulent, but I do think that they should lose this game. Next, we got the Jaguars at the 49ers. Man, give me Cartersville's own plus 3.5 at San Francisco. I've never seen a backup quarterback really win this many games in a row. And although they're well coached, I think Jacksonville's not that bad. We're going to take Jacksonville plus 3.5. Then next, we got the Saints at the Bills. Come on now, minus 15 Bills. We're all over this. And contrary to popular belief, typically they take the points. That Saints team is bad. Take the Bills minus 15 on a short week. Then next, we got the Monday night game. We got the Jets at the Dolphins. I like the Dolphins minus 2.5. I think that they get off the schneid against the Jets team that just isn't that good. And then finally, we got the Eagles at the Buccaneers. I like over 43.5.
All right. So we've got Green Bay at Dallas over 46.5.
Mm-hmm.
Rams minus 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
Jags plus 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
Bills minus 15.
Oh, yeah.
Dolphins minus 2.5.
Yep.
Eagles at Bucks over 43.5.
Yep.
You like it? I love it.
And when you love it, that means it's time for Lee's 3.
Lee's 3. Lee's 3. Lee's 3. All right,
That
so
went
for Lee's
perfect
3,
that time.
yeah, finally, we got it right.
Yeah.
But for Lee's 3 this week, man, I'm going to double dip in college, actually.
Really?
You know, when my guy, Lane, says take the over, who am I to go against Lane Kiffin? One of my favorite coaches in college football history, innovative mind, great offensive coach. We're going to take the over at 53.5. I'm a homer. Give me my dogs minus 2.5. Go dog. And lastly, give me that Rams minus 2.5. Those are my 3 for the week, Parlay Pete. We've got 2 minutes. How you want to close out the show, man?
I don't know. We could give them a little AC Lee and Parlay Pete got something to say.
All right, what you got to say real quick, Parlay Pete?
I've got to say that, and this touches back to your Cardi B sentiments kind of from earlier. Guys, and it kind of touches into the AI dating part. Guys, we got to start getting outside and touching grass. And when I say that, obviously, I don't mean literally. I mean figuratively. We've got to get outside and start touching grass. Go outside, enjoy the day. Let's not sit in our homes all day. Let's not be on our phones all the time. Let's not go places just to take pictures. Let's live in the moment a little bit. Let's try and do something productive and also to be able to go out and talk to other people and collaborate and be able to set up things that would not happen otherwise if you were sitting at home.
Hey, I was going to say the same thing, man. Go touch earth. Touch earth. Interact with people. Learn how to deal with people. Learn how to manage your triggers around people and not expect the world to just revolve around you. Cardi B, show respect to the people who show respect and spend their money on you. See you guys again next week.
Salutations.
Hey, make sure to like, share, subscribe, follow us on all socials. Watch the Winning Pod. And for those of you who like a live show and missed it, this show will re-air tomorrow afternoon on Facebook and YouTube. Good night.